Chicken and the Cheater Cheetahs. Final of 15. Hari Rhodes, after pausing in his kitchen to refresh the now empty lemonade pitcher, led his three guests back to the 60-plus-year-old round glass patio table that sat comfortably beneath his Rolleiflex canopy and motioned for them to sit upon his newly purchased canvas chairs. Chairs he had replaced a score of years earlier, less than a fortnight following George W. Bush's famous Mission Accomplished speech, which 43 had delivered from the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. Once his guest was seated, Hari held the lemonade pitcher in his right hand, an empty glass in his left, and looked to Paula with furrowed brow in way of invitation. Said invitation receiving a smile and nod in way of affirmation, which led to Hari pouring her a glass of non-fortified lemonade, and then lifting and shaking his bottle of Smirnoff Red No. 21, which precipitated Paula's half-smile and nod, which caused Hari to smile in return and hand her the bottle. Paula poured a small amount of vodka into her lemonade, took a sip, tipped her head to the side, poured some more, sipped again, smiled, sighed, and then spoke. "So what you're telling me," she said, looking at Yossarian, "is that you can speak to animals and they understand you, and you understand them?"
"Yes,"
Yossarian civilized.
"But it's more accurate to say that anybody who can talk to animals and that they can understand us. I'm just the odd duck who can understand them, at least some of them. Like, I can talk to bees, but not hornets. I can understand a lot of animals, but nowhere near all. I'm not sure why, but I think it depends on how cooperative and socialized the particular animals are. Seems like the more they interact in groups, the better we can understand each other."
And Mike said, his brow furrowed deeper than a freshly plowed or Iowa cornfield, "You developed this ability after you served in Desert Storm?"
"Yes. After I was airlifted out of USAG Hessen Army Base in Hanau, Germany, after being gassed and after more than a month of kind of floating in space, not knowing who or where or even what I was, one day Ninja, one of the base's cats, was talking to me and I was talking back. Apparently it was the first time I'd spoken since being gassed, and Doc Daneeka came over and asked me how I was. I didn't think anything of it at the time because I wasn't thinking much about anything, you know. Anyway, I rehabbed there for a few months, got a TPD discharge, and came home. Billy Shore was my VA doc, and boy, what a mess that was. At first, Billy Boy thought I was faking. Then he thought I was crazy. After that, he thought he was crazy, Yossarian said with a laugh. Anyway, after a while and lots of physical rehab and, oh my goodness, so many tests, he came off with the theory that somehow toxins from the burn pits had interacted with whatever gas Saddam is using, affected my neurochemistry, and lets me understand animals. I don't know. My brain doesn't work like it did before I went to Kuwait, but I get to talk to animals. Is what it is.
"That's the craziest thing I ever heard," Hari said, shaking his head. "Oh, did I hear a car pull up?" he added. "Sounds like," Paula said, as she, along with Hari and his other guests, rose from the table and made their way to 1181 County Ridge Drive's driveway, where they greeted the Bronx Zoo cargo van driver and veterinarian. Yossarian had stood close by and chatted with the cheetahs as the Bronx Zoo crew had loaded what Yo referred to as Chicken, Bob, Slob, Rob, Fob, and Bab-Zooka, despite the manifest declaring that the cheetahs the veterinarian was signing for were named Ramonda, Shuri, Chadwick, Jordan Fupe, and Forrest.
"Just let the cats know what you're going to do with them,"
Yossarian said to the cargo van driver, as the driver shut the van's rear door on the once again caged but not tranquilized Chicken, Bob, Slob, Rob, and Fob, along with the still dazed and confused Bab-Zooka.
"Thanks for not tranquilizing them until you get to the Bronx Zoo. They're very cooperative if you just tell them what you want."
The driver acknowledges Yossarian's declaration with a smile and nod before turning to the van, opening the driver's door, climbing into the driver's seat, and shaking his head, rolling his eyes, and heading up Hari Rhodes' driveway to begin the drive back to NYC.
"Well," Yossarian said to his three companions, "I'm going to head back down the tracks to my car. You take care, okay?"
"We will," Mike replied, shaking hands. "You too, and thanks for the help. Don't think things would have gone anywhere near as smoothly if you hadn't been here."
"Pleasure,"
Yo replied, happily accepting Paula's arms spread wide invitation for an embrace.
"I'll try to visit him down at the zoo. Good place for me anyway,"
he concluded with a shrug. "Young man," Hari said to the about to turn 50-year-old Yossarian,
"you are absolutely remarkable. Good luck,"
as they shook hands.
"Thank you, sir,"
Yossarian said.
Sorry about your chickens.
prior to returning to the railroad tracks and heading south.
That man reminds me a lot of me back at that age, Harry said before turning to Mike and Paula and adding, Let's get you down to that bus station so you can get home, shall we?
He concluded, dangling his car keys in Paula's direction.